Because actually, that crush of mine, guwapo siya og mistizo, no? He looks like Yusek Rebsi Escobedo. Pero mas maputi yun. Uh, But then the problem is, nag-medtech na ko, I became a medical technologist and I was pursuing my medical profession. And nakarinig po kami ulit sa kanya because he got sick in the mountains. So here we were already professionals, and here he was trying to start his life.
Requesting the DepEd family to take note of the request of Deputy Minority Leader Franz Castro. At this point, the Chair would like to recognize Deputy Majority Leader Janet Garin.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and a pleasant good afternoon to Her Excellency Vice President Sara Duterte and the DepEd family. My first question is, of the unfilled positions, if we make a comparison the past years as compared to the recent years, ilan na po ang na-fill upan?
Madam Chair, Yusek Mercado will answer the question.
Yusek Mercado, you're recognized.
Thank you, Your Honor. As to authorized items, we have 1,025,000 as of August 22, 2023, ma'am. Filled up is 974,696. So it's like 95.02%. So we have talagang by years for if you look at the past years, ma'am, we always fill it up to 95.02%. Kaya lang, ma'am, yung 4% namin dahil sa laki ng plantilla, it's still around 51,000 positions. But as the year ends, halos papasok din siya sa 90% filled up.
Pero mas marami na po, Yusek, ang na-fill upan ngayon ikumpara sa mga bakante dati. Right?
Yes, ma'am, because
Yes.
we're proud to say that we are now prime HRM bronze, and we don't need to wait for attestation from the Civil Service Commission. Kaya yun before, matagal yung reporting because of the late attestation. Ngayon po, ma'am, pag nasignan na namin and the RDs, reported na siya agad. So, mataas na ngayon.
Thank you very much for that, Yusek. In the news, it says that out of the 205 COA findings or COA recommendations, 114 na po or around 56% ang na-actionan ng DepEd, and 91 other recommendations are being partially being improved or achieved. Is this reliable?
Madam Chair, Yusek Poa will answer the question.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yes, that is true, Madam Chair. That is why we were given an unmodified or unqualified opinion by the COA for year 2022, which is a first in DepEd, Your Honor.
So out of the 205 COA recommendations, 114 have already been achieved and 91 are partially achieved. 114 plus 91 is a total of 205. Am I correct, Yusek Poa?
Yes,
Tama?
Your Honor.
Yeah. So with that, Madam Chair, may I commend the housekeeping tasks that had been done by the DepEd family headed by the Honorable Secretary, because it might have it would have felt as an impossible task previous years, pero ngayon kitang-kita natin yung bilis ng housekeeping compliance. Moving forward, Madam Chair, Your Honors, actually, Ma'am, Honorable Vice President, I grew up in the province. No? My grandparents are public school teachers. My mother was a long-time government professor. And I grew up with a family of many public school teachers. And when I was in school, magsakay-sakay ko put-put together with my classmates. And I had this crush in school before. I just don't want to mention the name because my husband might be watching. Patay ko, iniguli na ako sa balay. No, so we ride the put-put together, we play in Tagalog, they call it patentero. But I got broken-hearted. No? It's normal to fall in love during school years. Because that crush of mine nga, musakay-sakay kong put-put, kung musakay siya, dropped from school. And I realized later on, when we heard from his relatives, that he went up to the bukid. No? Siyempre, young students are actually prone to manipulation because we are not only young at heart, but we are also not that mature in terms of neurological decisions. In other words, students, especially those who are in public schools and those in the interior areas, can be prone to manipulation. Can I hear the side of the Department of Education family if indeed this is a problem in our community, especially sa amo ng mga taga-probinsya?
Madam Chair, Yusek Poa will answer the question.
Thank you, Madam Chair. That is true, ma'am. We agree with you. It is one of the several problems we have in terms of security and safety for our learners, and not even just for our learners, but as well as our teachers and non-teaching personnel. In fact, based on the data or information that we gathered, just in 2016 to 2020, 12.3% of the 1,691 former CPP NPA rebels were minors. So ibig sabihin po nun, they were 12 to 17 years old, and this is the report given by the Eastern Mindanao Command. On top of that, we also have a problem in terms of learners joining groups that are into violent extremism, terrorism. And January 2017 to December 2019, there were 21 minors recruited to the Maute Group, 17 to the BIFF, and 5 to Islamic State-inspired groups. This is information given by the United Nations Special Representative for Children and Armed Conflict. We also have other problems, such as recruitment to child pornography, for example, aside from those concerns. In fact, we also have problems with criminal activities in our schools. No? Back in just January to December 2020, over 15,800 learners were arrested by the PNP and considered as children in conflict with the law. So as you can see, we do agree with your observation, Your Honor, and this is really a problem, and this is something that we want to prevent, to reduce, if not eradicate completely in our schools, Your Honor.
Thank you for that, Yusek, Madam Chair. Because actually, that crush of mine, guwapo siya og mistizo, no? He looks like Yusek Rebsi Escobedo, pero mas maputi yun. But then the problem is, nag-medtech na ko, I became a medical technologist, and I was pursuing my medical profession. And nakarinig po kami ulit sa kanya because he got sick in the mountains. So here we were already professionals, and here he was trying to start his life. And I empathize, my heart bleeds for him because he could, kasi matalino siya, he would have had a good future. So, Madam Secretary, Your Honors, Madam Chair, can we say that those taking advantage of the young minds of our students is actually not working for our country, but are instead contributing to educational sabotage?
Yes, Madam Chair, we always say the easiest way to destroy a country is to rob the country of its youth. No? And yun po yung nangyayari sa atin ngayon. That's why we are bent on protecting our learners, which is necessarily included in providing quality basic education, Your Honor.
Thank you for that, Honorable Yusek, Madam Chair. So may I appeal to the Department of Education family that we continue not only educating our children, because that's the future of our country. We provide them with literacy, but at the same time, we guard our young people and our young children so that hindi maipapaliko yung kanilang landas. Because I have here one of my mentors who is actually our majority leader. He is not that handsome, but he is cute, and we actually call him Cute Boy. And because in the province, he was also doing everything to finish his schooling, now he is our majority leader. So in closing, Madam Chair, in closing, Madam Chair, may I again reiterate the importance of education. It's not just the core of our youth. Education is the key not only of poverty, but education is the key in weaponizing our basic resource, and that is our children. Because when we educate them, when we try to prevent them from neurological manipulation, we will end up with a peaceful, a happy, and a progressive country full of cute boys and cute girls. Thank you, Madam Chair.